Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this will be my in-depth thoughts of the state of play that happened on May of 2023. So I did give my quick thoughts, the Project Q, which is their Wii U gamepad for the PlayStation 5. The question is, who's marketing to? Who knows? I already gave a quick thoughts about that one. There's really nothing else to say. I mean, I don't know what Jim Ryan's thinking. And then, of course, there's been a lot of controversy with him. And that's why I keep saying that this guy is a bad man, a very, very bad man. To some extent, also an idiot. Nothing personal. Maybe I'll give my thoughts about that on a different video. So with that said, I'm going to give my thoughts on the game that I am interested. So it was actually a long presentation. There are some Western IP, Japanese IP, different genre. But again, like I said before, at least there's option for everyone which genre they want. It is what it is. So I'm going to give my thoughts on the game that I was interested. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try them out. So with that said, starting with Cat Quest 3 or Cat Quest Pirates of the Peruvian. Yeah, I know it's a pun for Caribbean, but really is, if you play the Cat Quest game, it is sort of like a indie Zelda wannabe game. That's why I can explain it. It's not a bad game. I played the first one. I think I did a showcase, but to some extent, again, now they have a third one, so it is what it is, popular. I don't know what to say else. Now it's a Pirates theme. Let's just say that one. So the next one is, and I did give my thoughts about this before, in a digital Devolver, and of course it's going to be the PlayStation 4. Makes sense. PlayStation 5 maybe even, is more info on Plucky Squire, and this time you're going to play more than one character in this game. So if you don't know what this indie game is, it changes the genre. It depends where you're at. It's interesting. So it could be over the top Legend of Zelda style into a shooter, platformer, heck, even fighting game. And that's what it is about the Plucky Squire. So it changes genre. It depends on where you are. And now this time you're going to play two more other characters in the game. So it is interesting. They say it's going to come out probably this year. But hey, it's coming out with a PS4 with trophies to forth. So the next one, it's sort of interesting because this is their answer to Splatoon for the PlayStation by Square Enix. So I'm going to guess, again, this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive to some extent. Maybe not, who knows. And that is called Foam Stars. So the general basic, if you see the trailer, it does remind you of Splatoon, but instead of inkling, because squid, you use weapon and shoot wine, bubbly, a bit of the bubbly bubble. I'm guessing champagne or whatever, or maybe it is soap, or to some extent what they call it, foam. That's why Foam Star. And it's just an alternative for Splatoon. So again, will this be on the Switch or the next Nintendo console? Okay, maybe the Nintendo next console. Switch, definitely not. Judging whatever, how big this game is, what engine can it run like that. So, but again, it's an alternative. I mean, there's Fortnite and PUBG, but whatever, I guess. So the next one is a free-to-play game, and I'm not really sort of interesting about the game, but the history behind it to some extent, and that is Tower of Fantasy. So it's another one of those just free-to-play game, that action RPG, what it looks like. But the controversy for this one that I heard was one of the character was redesigned, and I think the previous one, she had, let's just say, big boobs. So they kind of nerf her to some extent. That's the word. Yeah, make it less appealing. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to lie, especially with gacha game, people will spend more for fan service. If they got big boobs, nice ass, G-string, hey, people are going to do it. They're going to pay money. I'm not kidding. Especially ultimate fan service for an anime character, 2-piece bikini. Just saying that. It sucks. To some extent, it might think it's gross. Hey, people pay for those things, sadly, to some extent. I mean, look at what happened to Rumbleverse. Just saying. Even Matt Simmons said it. It is what it is. So, moving from that one is finally more info and a release date target, and that is Grand Blue Fantasy Reeling. So, this has been talked about, I think, since 2022, heck, even probably 2021. and it is their console version of Grand Blue Fantasy. Of course, there is a mobile game. You can only play it in Japan. There is sort of an English text configuration, but a little tricky how to do it. As of right now, Side Games did say that they're not going to bring out a Western version of this mobile game, Grand Blue Fantasy, because not people are going to buy it. It is what it is. Kind of sucks in my opinion. Of course, look what happened to Dragalia Lost. Even so, it made a lot of money. They shut it down. Maybe just too much cost just to keep continuing. Who knows? So this is a console version. It kind of looks like one of those action/RPG. Maybe Zelda. Who knows? And yeah, it's probably going to be in a PC. But of course, it's always been told multiple times, it's a PlayStation exclusive. Again, for me personally, I'm a PlayStation fan. You know, that puts a smile on my face. But it looks interesting what it is. English dub. So we just have to wait and see what the game comes out. And they did say they're aiming for a winter 2023. That is December. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed back to 2024. Just have to wait and see. So now, I did talk about Metal Gear Solid on the Nintendo Direct. And for Sony, they announced Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. So as a remake of Snake Eater, one of the best Metal Gear Solid games from what I understand. I prefer 5, but that's just me. But of course, granted, the game is incomplete. If you look at the history, you'll know what I mean. And why remake? Why not? Maybe a second chance, maybe quality of life, modern take of it. Because they did say that the voice in the game is going to be the one from Snake Eater from the original version. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if it works, hey, I'm not blaming. Kind of makes sense there. So it is interesting that they are doing a remake. So maybe it's a test. So if it's successful, maybe they'll do a remake to the other ones. Maybe Twin Snake, finally. I know the reason that never been ported to anything else, it's a Nintendo exclusive game. Believe it or not, it was paid by Nintendo. That's why. Unless you have to do some amount of adjustment, removing Mario and Yoshi. Just saying. But again, it is what it is there. And then closing in my thoughts is Spider-Man 2. They show more about it. This time you get to play as Miles and Peter. Yes, the elephant in the room, it will not be 2-player. You're not going to be playing both Spider-Man at the same time. But you switch to one Spider-Man to another, kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5. And then they showed a new villain, Kraven the Hunter. And not only that, that Peter Parker's Spider-Man will also have the symbiote suit. So I don't know what that means. So it could be that there might be a third character, Venom, just saying a third Spider-Man there. But for what I see, pretty good. It is going to be PlayStation 5 only this time. So that makes sense, kind of like Tears of the Kingdom, no Wii U version. It makes sense. It pushes the power, the performance. Hopefully there is a 60-frame performance mode in this one, kind of like Final Fantasy 16. Starfield, I'm looking at you. But hey, what it is, it looks like it's interesting. You switch to Spider-Man and got new moves. And I wouldn't be surprised. This is going to be a quality of life. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom had that. And I'll give my opinion about that in a different video. So probably I wouldn't be surprised with Spider-Man. And I'm just going to mention it here that on the Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley, they also announced the date. October of 2023 is going to come out. Very interesting month because that's also going to be Sonic Superstar. Apparently that's the leak. And as well, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. But of course, if you have that $60, $70 and you can only choose one, then you have to choose which one. It is what it is. So, thoughts. I like it. It wasn't as dynamic as the Nintendo Direct or even the Xbox Showcase, but they had games, Japanese and American games. And granted that they did this at May rather than in June. Hey, who knows? Maybe there's going to be another state of play maybe in the summer. Who knows? Just have to wait and see. But overall, like I said on my other video about it, I give it a solid B for this one because even so they had some good games already announced, and some of them for me it's like, well, we got VR games, maybe hopefully they're good, but there wasn't anything that kind of stand out for me. It's like, oh cool, a new Cat's Quest, oh, a game that's an alternative to Splatoon, a remake of Snake Eater, okay, that's cool, rather than a new Metal Gear. But of course there's probably more than meets the eye. Who knows? Grand Blue Fantasy Relink finally have a date. And then just games that they mentioned before that gonna give more info. That's really it. But again, Spider-Man 2, at least it was pretty good for what it is. And of course, they had VR. So they had a lot of games. But for me personally, I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. But you know what? There's nothing that really stand out. So that's why I give it a B, or with a score, a 7 out of 10. So that's my thoughts of the PlayStation State of Play at May. With that, I'll see you guys later.